Okay, hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about my geology storyboards. These are a good way to get students thinking about how different environments create very, very different rocks. So I like to first of all point out our box of mini rocks here. They don't look very interesting, and people who don't really know much about rocks wouldn't really think much about them, as you wouldn't for most of the rocks you see in your backyard. However, each of these rocks has a very cool story to tell us about the earth. So with sedimentary rocks and my sedimentary storyboard, I have a lot of different environments here represented, and we're starting from up in the mountains, winding our way down to the oceans, and then we have some terrestrial environments in between, as well as several different marine and transitional environments. So let's go ahead and get started. At the base of the glaciers, we may have some pretty fast-moving mountain streams, so we may have a coarse-grained sedimentary rock like a conglomerate. As we wind down our river system a bit more, we could start to develop some other minerals, but we still have feldspars left, usually from erosion of the mountains, which may be granite. And so we may have a arkose, which contains a lot of feldspar. As we get further down into our river system, we may get something like just a quartz sandstone, as that feldspar has weathered and turned into clay minerals. We're going to be left with quartz. If I had some mudstone, we could be looking at that along the floodplains and in the delta as well. And some other terrestrial environments include a desert system where we have some rock salt, which may form in that evaporating lake over here, and more sandstone. Sandstone occurs in a lot of different environments, and you'd have to get into the details of cross-bedding, ripple marks, grain size, mineralogy, all those sort of things to really differentiate between the different environments where sandstone occurs, but this is fine for now. So we have a sandstone that occurs in our sand dune there at the desert. In our lake, we have really calm water depositing the finest of sediments. So we may get clay building up, and that will form a rock called shale. And many fossil-rich rocks come from lakes, as well as the deep sea. So some of these rocks are interchangeable, right? So now we're getting our way into the ocean and some transitional environments like a coal swamp, which, like a mangrove swamp here, may create something like coal eventually. A beach may be quartz sand, or it can have a lot of fossils in it, like this coquina here. And speaking of fossils, as we get into the reef system, that is a coral reef, sort of, we can get into a fossil-rich limestone there. And then as we get further off the coastline, we may get into chalk and other carbonates that are more fine-grained than what we see here at the reef system. And then we may get into cherts as we get into some of the deepest parts of the seas, as well as some clay-rich shale. So that is sedimentary rocks, and that's a little bit about how to use a bunch of rocks to tell bits of chapters of the story of our Earth. And sedimentary rocks do a great job of doing that with life, with climate, with everything that's happening at the surface of our planet.